I have something here to show you. A fine, handsome silver tankard. This was made for my wife and I many years ago by one of our neighbors and a friend of mine, Mr. Elias Boudinot, or Boudinot as his family pronounce it nowadays. I remember when Deborah and I were first married, and she bought me a china bowl and a silver spoon, and we thought it a great extravagance that I should have my morning porridge with a silver spoon. We never imagined that one day we would own so fine a thing as this. This was made, it has my own coat of arms engraved upon the front, and here on the handle our initials, an F for Franklin, and B and D for Benjamin and Deborah. But I'm not showing this off merely because I'm proud of owning a silver tankard. I wish to tell you something of the man who made it, or rather of his family. Mr. Boudinot, his father came from France in 1687. He came the year after my father came from England to America. And the two of them, both young men at the time, both strangers to the country, came out for similar reasons. My father came out because Presbyterians were not much liked in the London of King James II. Monsieur Boudinot, as he was then, came out to America because he was a Protestant, a Huguenot, and came in the hope of escaping the persecution which France then levied against his sect. Monsieur Boudinot came out not only a stranger to America, but even to the language spoken here. Yet in time he made his way. His son, Elias, was born the same year I was born. I was apprenticed to be a printer. He was apprenticed to be a silversmith, and in the end prospered in that trade. He lived down the street from Deborah and I on Market Street in Philadelphia, and we became friends as well as customers of his. His son, I should start with his daughter. His daughter, Annis, married an attorney in New Jersey, a Mr. Richard Stockton. And then Mr. Stockton took on her younger brother, Elias, named for his father, to read law with him. And when he had qualified as an attorney, then the younger Elias Boudinot married Mr. Stockton's sister. And so the two families were tied very closely together. Mr. Stockton's daughter, Julia, the silversmith's granddaughter, married a good friend of mine, Dr. Benjamin Rush of Philadelphia. Mr. Stockton was a member of the Congress. In fact, he and I both signed the Declaration of Independence, whereas Mr. Boudinot's son, Elias, he was also a member of the Congress later, and in fact in 1783, Elias Boudinot was the president of the Continental Congress at the time peace was made between Great Britain, France, Spain, and America, ending our War of Independence. And I have no doubt that Mr. Stockton and the younger Mr. Boudinot will in time perform other services for their country. But this is what I think is most notable. Here I, the youngest son of a man who came out with nothing to a strange country in America, was apprenticed to a manual trade, have risen to a position of some eminence. Monsieur Boudinot, his son, also apprenticed to a manual trade. Now his sons after him, his son and his son-in-law are both attorneys, men of consequence, members of the Congress, and so on. In any other country than in America are such stories told, of strangers come out, strangers to the country that in a generation or two rise to such eminence in their country through their own frugality, their industry, their natural talent, and so on. And so I am proud of this tankard, not merely for what it is, but as it were a symbol of the family that has come so far in such a short time, in less than a century, from poor immigrant stranger to the preeminence in the country. And I think that is something that all of us who live in this new republic of ours have reason to be proud of. America has been called the best poor man's country in the world, and the history of our two families is a good example of what that means.